Hi, hello. How are you? My name is Carly, and welcome back to my channel. If you can hear music in the background, it's because my neighbors have been listening to Kanye West all day. This is the concrete jungle where dreams are made of. I make a lot of videos about books, usually. I would argue that Pretty Little Liars is book adjacent. There's lots of books. I read all of them as a child and considered them to be kind of core texts. You know, I think in 2,000 years when literature professors talk about the literary canon that defined the 2000s, Jane Eyre who? Virginia Woolf, never heard of her. We only know Sarah Shepard here. We know Marlene King. I don't know what I'm talking about, as if the world's gonna survive 2,000 years. The sun's gonna explode. Just girly things. I have been recently watching Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, which is the current HBO Max reboot of Pretty Little Liars. Now, the thing about PLL Original Sin is that it's quite dark. You know, it's Pretty Little Liars' answer to the Euphoria generation. So not only is A seemingly wearing a person's face and skin as a mask, and A somehow also has kind of superhuman abilities in terms of strength, and A seemingly is a full killer. Like, I feel like A did not kill anyone in Pretty Little Liars until like at the end of season 1. We're 5 episodes in and A is dropping goddamn bodies. I think 4 people have died, and not even like, oh, push them off a roof or hit them with a car, which is like still obviously very much murder, but you know, it's a gentle murder. A is like slicing people's throats with box cutters. A is strangling people with shower curtains. But the show also, the lives of the girls is a lot darker. There's copious amounts of sexual assault. There is drug abuse. There is a lot of really heavy dark themes. So that's what's going on in the Pretty Little Liars Original Sin universe. I am very much enjoying it. It's very well done TV. However, I do miss the elements of camp from the original series. You know, A no longer texts the girls truly corny shit. You know, this A is a murderer. I want the A that says, call off your techno boy toy or I tell your mom what you hide in the lasagna box. I miss the A that put bees in Arya's mom's car. You know? I miss the A that put a message in Hannah's tooth. I want the chaotic energy of Pretty Little Liars back. The only thing I actually, quite frankly, don't miss from this series is the full grown man dating a child arc. Looking at you, Ezra Fitz. But earlier this year, when I contracted the novel coronavirus, I watched the forgotten Pretty Little Liars reboot, The Perfectionists. This was ABC Family's last attempt to literally suck every little drop of money out of a dying franchise. Pretty Little Liars was over. The series had died. Ravenswood ended. And Freeform went right. But what if we didn't end it? What if we brought it back? And this time, it's worse. And I watched it all. So I want to tell you about it. So you don't have to watch it, but you can enjoy the camp, forgotten Pretty Little Liars reboot that, quite frankly, is culture. The Perfectionist is the Pretty Little Liars spinoff that happened in 2019. It follows Alison De Laurentiis. After the most traumatizing years of a human being's life, she decides that she's going to move across the country from Pennsylvania to Washington, not DC, the state. Alison De Laurentiis, who had her sister murdered, had her mother murdered, had to go on the run for years. At the end of the Pretty Little Liars series, she's engaged to Emily Fields, and they have 2 twin girls because Emily was impregnated with Ren's sperm by A. Love giving a little backstory. I need you to know because my brain's been poisoned by this, and now you have to know as well. So they're married. However, in The Perfectionists, we need to get Allison to Beacon Heights, where this whole entire thing takes place. So they get divorced. And instead of, you know, how most divorces kind of work, we're like, okay, well, me and Emily are divorced, but I'll still stick around because we have 2 full fucking children together. Allison goes, absolutely not. I'm moving across the fucking country to get my master's degree. So she moves from Pennsylvania to Washington, D.C., truly just breaking the glass ceiling on being a deadbeat parent. She said, it's not just for the dads anymore. So she just kind of abandons her kids and is getting her master's at Beacon Heights University. Now, Beacon Heights is basically like a Stanford. It's kind of like a West Coast Ivy League school. Everyone there has super good grades, but also a lot of people are like focused on extracurriculars. Everybody's just like got their thing at this university. It's for gifted kids. That's the vibe of this place. And Allison is getting her master's there in English and also TAing. How did she get this job? Well, I'm so happy you asked. I'm so happy. Mona Vanderwall, queen, legend, the best character to come out of this whole entire series, is the guidance counselor at Beacon Heights University. Now, this is concerning because last we saw Mona, she got to torture Alex Drake, Spencer's evil British twin sister. We leave the Pretty Little Liars series and Mona's like, great. So my story ends where I just get to kind of be a torturer to this evil woman. Yet this series says that Alex Drake escaped. So then she just went to become a guidance counselor at university, as you do. So Mona is the guidance counselor at Beacon Heights University. And she also wrote the code because she is a hacker girl, a tech girly, not like other girls. And she wrote the code that this university uses for all admissions, hiring of faculty and staff. I don't really know, but basically this code looks through applications and decides if you'll be a good fit for this university, if you have the credentials, and that you won't make other people crack under pressure. So this code said Allison De Laurentiis should come, and Mona said, amazing, come on in. Now, Beacon Heights is also 1984 vibes. It's giving 1984 because everyone is under a surveillance state. It is the safest campus in America because every single dorm, house, classroom, public space on this campus is under constant surveillance of a thing called Beacon Guard. And this is because the principal of the school, who is the mom from Gossip Girl, her husband got gunned down in the streets by a mugger. And she was like, amazing. So we're just gonna enact in a surveillance state at my campus. No questions there. Basically, in the first episode, we see this iconic friend group. We have Caitlin Park Lewis, who is very like type A Spencer vibes. She has gay moms. #pride. One of her moms is a senator, and she wants to be, I have to read this word for word, the first Olympic gold medalist and president. Great. Then we have Ava Jalali, who is a fashion girly, has a YouTube channel, but she is a fashion girly influencer YouTuber. She's a hacker, and they kind of imply that in order to be a YouTuber, you have to be able to code. Love it. And she wants to get an internship at Vogue because she loves fashion. And her father embezzled money from his clients, millions of dollars, and is on the run. Are you paying attention? Then we have Eli Brown. He comes from a small town and he's gay, so he's like running away from the bigotry of his small town, which we love. He is the straightest gay person I've ever seen. He's like, I'm not gay for me. I'm gay for you. I will never challenge the status quo, but he's gay. So basically, they're all friends with Nolan, who is kind of this universe's Allison. He is the son of the principal of the university, and he's a real fucking piece of work. He's fucking evil. The actor looks like evil Harry Styles. If Harry Styles was kind of like genetically mutated with an elf who was also evil. A couple things you need to know about Nolan. He's a piece of fucking shit. His mom runs the school. His twin sister went missing, and everyone thinks she killed herself, but the body was never found, which in Pretty Little Liars universe means this person is fully alive and in hiding. And he's blackmailing all of his friends to be friends with him. As you do. He's dating Ava, fashion girly. But because her dad embezzled funds, his mom wouldn't approve. He is telling his mom that he's dating Caitlyn because she's like smart and wants to be the president. He's blackmailing Caitlyn into saying that, yeah, she is dating him because Caitlyn's mom cheated on her other mom. And he found fucking photos of it somehow. He's extorting her. He's blackmailing Eli because he got Eli to cheat on his boyfriend with Nolan. And the only other external characters you need to know is that Caitlyn is dating Jeremy, who's a British rocket scientist who's clearly just a model. Like the actor is a model and they're like, we'll put glasses on him and he's a fucking rocket scientist or whatever. And right from the start, he's absolutely evil. The actor said, oh, this character's gonna be a little evil later. I'll play him evil from the start. Like he is just leering in every fucking scene. And they have a reveal at the end that they're like, guess what, Jeremy? He was actually bad. And you're like, yeah. So immediately in the pilot, we're introduced to these characters. Nolan's blackmailing everybody. Allie's teaching all of these characters English because she's a TA. Nolan makes Eli write everyone's papers for them. He blackmails Eli and he's like, you need to write our English papers because I want to hang out with Ava. But immediately they get caught for plagiarism because of course, because Eli has to write 4 fucking English papers in one night. They get caught for plagiarism by Allie. Allie's like, hey, did you plagiarize this? Eli, did you write all these fucking papers? And he's like, no, absolutely not. Also, the stakes are so low for Eli this entire time that you're like, homie. Caitlyn, there's stakes. Caitlyn's mom is cheating on her other mom, and so Caitlyn doesn't want her mom to find out that she's being cheated on. And the mom that's cheating is a senator, so like her mom's career could basically be destroyed. Eli cheated on his own boyfriend of his own will. So you're like, Eli, if you want to get out of this, like just kind of admit it. Your suffering could be over. Then Nolan starts acting weird. So he pisses Eli off because he's blackmailing him. He pisses Caitlyn off because she's blackmailing her. And then he cheats on Ava. So they meet in the woods and they're like, oh my God, we should kill Nolan. Like, so it stops. And then they're like, no, we're not gonna kill Nolan. And then Nolan dies. He's like on the roof and he gets pushed off the roof and he gets impaled on a metal fence. The fucking roof is a dead zone for Beacon Guard, you know, like the 1984 like Big Brother looking security system that overlooks the entire campus. Well, the roof is a fucking dead zone. So Nolan goes up there to meet someone, gets pushed off and dies. And this is exactly how the group, when they were all together, talked about killing him. So they're like, fuck. Somebody here tried to kill him. Also, just want to say that this principal is down bad. Her husband was shot down in the streets. She thinks her daughter killed herself and now Nolan's been murdered. So she's like alone. So she's kind of a villain in this, but like, can you blame her? You know what I mean? As they're all looking at Nolan's fully impaled corpse on the university fucking campus, somebody whispers in all their ear and goes, "It's just like you imagined it." And that's genuinely very creepy. And then it never comes back again. In true Pretty Little Liars energy. Just never comes back. After this, the entire series is these three coming together as a little squad to try and figure out who killed Nolan and who is threatening them. Because they immediately start getting calls and texts to somebody who knows their secrets and is trying to extort them, because whoever knows their secrets thinks that they killed Nolan. So they're trying to figure out who knows their secrets, who's trying to like basically cancel them, anti-cancel culture Pretty Little Liars. And also there's an evil cop named Dana Booker who is trying to investigate Nolan's murder and just thinks it's them. Dana Booker is not a cop, actually. She is an ex-FBI agent who investigated Ava's father's embezzlement case. Got fired from the FBI because she was so crooked, and then gets hired at the university basically as a PI, and spends the entire series ruining the lives of seemingly 19-year-olds. Chasing after these 18-year-old, 19-year-olds, ruining their lives. Has no proof that they killed Nolan at all, and is just like, oh, well, you guys were friends with him, so it's fully you. Investigates no one else, and is like, it's you. So what the gang is trying to do is, first of all, find Nolan's box of secrets, which is a box he keeps of their secrets, which is missing, trying to prove their innocence of not killing Nolan, and also trying to keep their secrets under wraps. Here's my other favorite things that happened during this series. At a certain point, Mona just calls Hannah from the original Pretty Little Liars series and has kind of a one-sided conversation because they couldn't get Ashley Benson to come back. That's just fan service. It stops the plot screeching in the middle of an episode, and she's just like, "Hey, Hannah, how's Caleb? Spencer and Toby eloped?" I also love that this series kind of rehabilitates the absolute character assassination that was Allison De Laurentiis at the end of Pretty Little Liars. Allison is fully a mean girl, basically a psychopath, ruining lives, blackmailing adults, horrible person. And that's why she's so compelling in the first couple of seasons of Pretty Little Liars, because she's literally fucking evil. And then at the end, they like basically have her like rehabilitated, and she's really nice and boring, and it's so boring to watch. This one, they have her go X Games mode again, and she calls everyone bitches, and she's trying to fuck up all the cops who are trying to work and solve this murder, and it's a lot more fun to watch. At one point, she like lies and gives all the kids an alibi when they didn't have one, and as the cop walks away, she goes, "Bring it on, bitch," and it's amazing. They also do fan service where if one of the characters says something really smart, they'll go, "Thank you, Spencer," and then the character will go, "What?" and they'll go, "Never mind." Just rude. Eli is playing the cello, and he constantly is just playing pop covers on the cello. It's very Bridgerton before Bridgerton was a thing, and it's very like 2019 vibes. Nolan's ex-best friend, they're convinced, killed Nolan, so they try to get him to come to a cabin and confess by giving him crushed up Ambien and whiskey, which is apparently a truth serum, and then Caitlin hits him on the head with a bat and basically almost kills him. Also, this entire time, Eli keeps talking about how he's writing a beautiful, amazing song for his boyfriend, and it's fully 4 chords. Halfway through, they bring back like Mona's coding that selects people to come to the university. And she's like, "Oh my God, somebody hacked my code." What? No. And it's created a new list, but Mona doesn't know what connects them all. And the only 3 people on the list are Allison De Laurentiis, Taylor, which is Nolan's dead sister, and a random person named Ray Hagedorn. And you're like, oh my God, once we find out who Ray Hagedorn is, it's gonna be amazing. We're gonna get so many answers. I guess there's no faculty handbook, so they spend like 3 episodes trying to find out who Ray Hagedorn is. He's a janitor who seemingly lives in an abandoned building in the school where he has all these clippings of Taylor's death. It's very creepy. It's very A-layer-like. Mona finds him and is like, great. You're like, great, we're meeting Ray Hagedorn. We never find anything out about that. It's like they cut the scene. Like, you're like, we finally met Ray Hagedorn. Yes, bitch. Yes. And then you never fucking see Ray Hagedorn again. It's just Ray Hagedorn being like, maybe Taylor didn't kill herself. And you're like, yeah. From episode 1, you've been saying there's no body. She didn't kill herself. At one point, Allison finds Taylor's old copies of The Wizard of Oz, those books. And Taylor has written basically a map to where she is. And she's living out in a tricked out fucking To Catch a Predator style trailer. She's alive and you're like, what? Oh my God. And she has like all these fucking A-style computers and shit. And everyone just kind of accepts that she's good. And you're like, okay, so she's lied, faked her own death, has superhuman smarts. You find out she's the one that coded Beacon Guard, the security system that protects everyone. Everyone's a hacker in this show, by the way. Everyone's a hacker. And they're all just like, well, she's probably good. And you're like, she's a super genius who's a pathological liar and we're not going to investigate anymore. And Allison's like, but she's nice. You have the worst judge of character of any fucking person. You married a man who in the last season of Pretty Little Liars drugged you, made you think you were crazy, put you in an asylum, and then stole all of your money. I don't trust you and your fucking judge of character. At one point, Dana Booker, the cop, pretends to be Ava's dad who's on the lam and starts sending her letters and hints and stuff to be like, Ava, I want to meet up. And then she's like in the woods like, ah. I bet you thought your dad was going to be here. Don't you want to confess to the murder? Which is literally evil fucking witch shit. This character is abhorrent. After Caitlin almost murders that man in the cabin, she steals his phone to be like, oh my God, we're going to get proof that Mason, the guy that she absolutely blinded with that tire iron and like fucking wrecked him. We're going to get proof that Mason was with Nolan that night and he killed her. And then she gets hit by a car. She's like on the side of the road being like, guys, meet me. And then she sees a car driving towards her and she's like, guys, look, I've got the phone. Mowed down. Absolutely mowed down by the car. Phone goes flying into the sewers. As it does. She's fine. Like, even better than when Hannah got hit by a car in PLL. Like, she's truly fine. They're then like, we have to fucking go to the sewers and get the phone. So they go to the sewers, and then there's fucking man in a pig suit who chases them and tries to kill them in the sewers. And then later on, it's kind of revealed that the entire time was Dana Booker trying to get them to confess. And you're like, oh, cool. But there's a new A who's basically conducting an experiment about their secrets and their lives. Series got canceled. So we're literally never going to fucking figure it out. Also, at one point, Ava, whose boyfriend fully murdered months before, starts up a romance with Zach, who is a Timothée Chalamet-looking motherfucker. And Zach hates her at first because Ava's dad stole all of Zach's parents' money. And they get over that real quick. Like, they move past that. Also, you can really tell in the final episode of this series that they're trying to set up a homophobic bully is gay plotline where Eli, who's now broken up with his boyfriend because he had to come clean about cheating on him, is eating at the food truck on campus. And the person working at the food truck was his homophobic bully in high school. And Eli's like running away, like freaking out, like, holy shit, I don't want to be a part of this. The bully tracks him down, which is really fucked. I'll give Eli that. Like, if I saw a bully who was fully violent and mean to me somewhere and I ran away and they chased me, I'd be like, oh, these are my last moments alive. This is my last moment on earth. That happens. And then he's like, I've changed. And then it's implied that he's gay. And you're like, motherfucker, the season 2 storyline was going to be, and then Eli, he gets with his homophobic bully. So that's what you missed on Glee. This is a very, very loose overview, of course. There's like 12 episodes or something, but I can't tell you that. All of it. I can't. You have a life to live. You have a family and kids to get back to. But that is the level of camp and insanity that I demand from Pretty Little Liars. I want it to be absolutely off the chain. I hope you liked this, my little freaks. This is a little bit of a different video for me, but I wanted to make something that I thought was fun. All of my links are in the description below. My Instagram, my TikTok, all that fun stuff. Yeah, I'll see you soon.